Hello everyone and welcome to a CNN. It's not even weekly at this point. It's been such a long off season. I guess a monthly recap. Not a lot has happened in the last month. Obviously we had the holidays, lots going on. And after everyone sort of announced after the signing window on the 23rd of December, it's been kind of barren. So we have had a couple of really high profile players move that we got to talk about. So let's just start there. And it's got to start with the GOAT himself, Prophet. Has re-signed, not resigned, with the Seoul Dynasty. And this is, I guess, surprising to some people. People were expecting him to potentially go somewhere else, but it's not shocking overall. He did have a sort of stream after he was re-signed to the team, sort of talking about his thought process with everything that happened. And he said he's happy with the Seoul Dynasty. He likes the idea. He's sort of the guy. So I'm sure he's going to be able to build this team how he wants it as well. He also sort of said he didn't want to go play for a Western team. He's happy in South Korea. But the general vibe from the Reddit thread as well overall was that he's probably coming towards the end of his career. We sort of talked about it a bit on Plat Chat. He's making words of like, oh yeah, I can delay my military service a little bit longer. I kind of want to play. I want to have fun. It doesn't feel as much that he's championship focused as, you know, I want to be on the very best team. I want to win the championship. He's done that before. He's already one of the greatest players to do it. I wouldn't be surprised if he's just sort of enjoying his time while he can, playing in the Overwatch League. So we'll see what ends up happening with the rest of the Seoul Dynasty team. We haven't seen any of the other players be signed to this team. And honestly, in the APAC region, the pool of players is limiting very, very quickly. You know, there's obviously a few players who have experience who could easily join this team. When you think of your like creatives, your irises, they could definitely fill out a backline. But in the APAC region overall, all of those teams have been cannibalized or retired. So I'm curious to see what kind of foot forward the Seoul Dynasty are putting, if they're going to sign rookie talent, try and build up a couple of players, or if they're just going to put together a team that is maybe marketable, that's going to be solid, but not going to be the best, because I think a lot of us are very worried that the APAC region is going to be drastically worse than the West, and when you've seen a lot of the best talent out of the East going to the West and some of the super teams coming out, you know, like your Dallas Fuel, San Francisco Shocks, Atlanta Reigns. There's a lot of really good teams in the West this year. And talking about best teams in the West, we can talk about the Los Angeles Gladiators. Gladiators had a pretty funny video, cooking in the bathroom. Danteh has been signed to the Los Angeles Gladiators. There's multiple layers to this that you need to break down. The first one that I think is important is that Danteh is signed as a tank player. There's a lot of questions around Danteh. Is he going to stay DPS? Is he going to go to the tank full time? He's pretty much said on stream and with this announcement that I'm going to be a tank player from now. He's focusing on it. He's putting the work in. And I don't think this is a bad choice by the Gladiators at all. Is Danteh a bit of a gamble? Of course, you know, he doesn't have as much experience on heroes like Wrecking Ball, on Winston, but we all saw what he did with Winston in the playoffs with the Houston Outlaws. He has shown he has the ability and the drive to be good at tank heroes. So if he just follows that thread, he could be one of the best tanks in the league. And every time he's played on a team, Danteh never disappoints. He has never been a disappointing player. He's never been on a roster when we've been like, he hasn't been sort of cutting the mustard in a way. He is just a solid player all around. And that's why I actually really like this signing for the Gladiators. He is a great player. I think he fits into their ecosystem pretty well, going up with, you know, Kevster, a couple of these other players, Lastro. So I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to pull off with this team. Plus, just regardless of anything to do with competition, he is probably the face of the league at this point. He is the most marketable Western player. He's been around the league for so long. He's just a nice guy. He's funny. So I think Danteh is a great signing for the Gladiators as a whole, because it's starting to look like, with how strong some of these other teams are getting and with how few players are left in the pool, Gladiators might struggle to put together a full roster that will be confidently as competitive with the rest of the league. So I think this is a great signing for the Gladiators. I think it's cool to see them sort of making videos and stuff like that. There's been a lack of content as a whole. So we'll see what the Gladiators end up rounding this out with. There was some rumors that Kai might go to this team. People were saying that Prophet is also rumored. Not Prophet, the O2 Blast rookie hit scan player. So only time will really tell. There's been some rumors going around of who's going to be where. We'll talk about those at the end of this video. Just sort of the little bits and pieces that we've picked up over time. Okay, then moving on, we need to talk about the elephant in the room that has been going on because this has all come to a head just recently. NetEase were the company that was working with Blizzard that as of November 20th or something like that, it was announced that they could not come to an agreement and that all Blizzard IPs other than Diablo Immortal will be going down in China. It's World of Warcraft, that's Overwatch, that's all that kind of stuff. About a week ago, when did this happen? 5 days ago? Yeah, about a week ago, Blizzard made a statement saying that they wanted to extend the duration of their collaboration for servers in the Chinese region for 6 months. Blizzard said that NetEase refused that deal, and for those reasons, the servers are going to go down. This was kind of a weird play by Blizzard overall, in my opinion, because they're kind of putting the onus of the servers going down onto NetEase when we don't really understand what's going on with why the deal broke down overall. Everything was going fine as far as we're aware. No one really at this level, especially me, has any idea what's exactly going wrong. But NetEase responded pretty harshly, and you can sort of see how they feel about this sort of Blizzard putting them in a corner with some of their statements. NetEase is tearing down all of their studios, you can see here, and it's officially come to an end. There was an interesting video here of them knocking down Gorehao. Oh god, it's so loud, I'm sorry. But them knocking down Gorehao, the iconic axe from World of Warcraft. So they've been taking it well. This is a really funny thing. So they gave them these green drinks, and to us Westerners that doesn't mean anything. It just looks like a nice matcha latte or something like that. But if you read how it's explained in this article, it's quite interesting. So it says, those who participated in the deconstruction efforts were rewarded with a brand new drink from the NetEase's coffee shop, Blizzard Green Tea. While this may seem odd, green tea is a modern Chinese slur referring to a manipulative person who tries to appear wholesome, innocent, and traditional, aka Blizzard, but it's decidedly not so. Clearly, NetEase has a very strong feeling towards the recent negotiations with Blizzard Entertainment. So it sounds like it has been a messy breakup between both of these companies, and as of, I believe it is today, Chengdu Hunters made a tweet about it. Goodbye and see you again. As of today, Blizzard games have gone down in the Chinese region, which is kind of crazy because a lot of people just expected, maybe they'll work something out before it eventually goes down, because it's bad for everybody. It's bad for Blizzard, it's bad for NetEase, it's especially bad for the people who play these games who no longer have access to them as well. And how long is it going to be, if ever, will Blizzard games be available in China again? We'll have to see, but it's pretty scary. And especially when you attach Chengdu Hunters to this as well. They tweeted this, Overwatch 2 has been shut down in mainland China. What does this mean for these teams? There's been rumors of all the teams are going to play in some capacity. Maybe, the Chinese teams will move to South Korea, function out of there. We've heard multiple things. There's been lots of rumors. As far as we're aware, everything is moving as intended, but only time will really tell. And Chengdu Hunters is a team that is starting to get rumored that they might be getting cannibalized a little bit. What is that roster going to look like? Because I believe it was here, there was a Reddit thread saying Ray, Leave, and Jinmu rumored to Hangzhou Spark. And Ray has actually since been announced at the Hangzhou Spark, if I remember correctly. If they could get Leave to the Hangzhou Spark alongside Guxue and Shy, Spark aren't messing around. While Chengdu Hunters fans are going to be permanently sad, as they have been over the last few years, that would be a big deal, especially if Jinmu went as well. Jinmu can be that silly hero specialist while Leave and Shy just sort of do their thing. Spark could be a scary team, and from what we're looking at right now in the landscape of APAC, by far the best team that they have in that region. So we will see if this comes to fruition. These are all rumors. We don't really know what to expect. Guangzhou Charge is probably the other team that has a solid roster, and they are expected to be the team that is paying potentially the most for some of these players, but only time will tell. Only time will tell. So another piece of big moves that have been happening in sort of the news world of the league is Jacob Wolf made a really great article talking about the Overwatch League teams start collective bargaining process against the league. So this was a big thing that came out because it says a majority of Overwatch League teams, which means more than 10, have worked together, come together, and they've retained a British law firm to start a collective bargaining process against the league. Collective bargaining essentially means if we go as a unit, as a majority of the league, then we can potentially negotiate for a good, we don't know. What are they negotiating for? That isn't specified in the article. No one actually knows what they're specifying for. People are assuming and making guesses that it's potentially to reduce the buy-in payments that they're still having to pay. There's rumored that they are still paying, it was here, Blizzard already reduced leveled the debt of all the teams so that there was 16 million for all 20 teams, and that was over 2020 when COVID was hitting. But each team still owes somewhere between 6 to 7.5 million to Activision Blizzard. So what are they going to do? Are they trying to get that reduced? Are they trying to get that removed? Are they trying to just blow up the league and be like, hey, we all want out. If we do this together, can we come to some form of mutual agreement? Because they're doing collective bargaining, it doesn't seem like they have a legal right to sue the league because, obviously the league promised a lot of things in 2018 that every team would be profitable in like a bunch of years, people would be making money. And as we can all tell at this, 2023, people aren't making money. Everyone's in the red. It's not going well for anyone. The league is not like anybody expected. COVID caused that. But obviously, the Overwatch League was overreaching with his expectations of what he was going to be able to pull off. So we'll see what happens with this over time. It's really a wait and see game at this point because we don't know what is happening. We don't know the expectations. There's a Microsoft acquisition that is supposedly still in the works that we haven't heard much about. There's been some rumors that UK antitrust is getting in the way, but lonely old me doesn't have the answers for you. But keep your eyes on it, and I'll keep my fingers on the pulse with what is actually happening. So, coming into this upcoming season, we've gotten our first nugget of information from the Overwatch League. We'll just run it here because it's short.
I'm cooking something up.
It's a salad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, a community update is on the way. Sean be cooking a community update. So we'll see what that ends up meaning for the league. Hopefully we can start to see something soon because in this entire offseason, obviously we've heard bits and pieces about the signing windows and that type of stuff changing. But as a whole, we have no idea what the landscape of next season looks like. We don't even know when it starts. We've been making assumptions based on the signing windows of you need 6 players by late March. So that would mean that in April, you would need to have some of your roster together. So that means that it's likely starting in April. But that's just us guessing at this point. We don't really know when that's all going to happen. So hopefully in the community update, we will get those answers. And it's obviously in the works. They're releasing videos like this. Another 6-month off season. Woohoo! Yay. Overwatch League. So let's talk about these last few rumors that have been happening in the works. Obviously, Casaurus, the head coach of the Toronto Defiant. There's been a lot of speculation and assumption that American Tornado is getting the band back together with the Toronto Defiant. Everything points that direction. You see all of the interactions. All of those guys who currently do not have teams are just sort of sitting around. They're all playing ranked, but we haven't heard much from them. So all signs point towards this. Toronto has to be one of the best kept secrets this offseason. This is probably a meme because I think everyone has just assumed that it's happening. I would be flabbergasted if that was not the case. Maybe there's a couple of pieces that we weren't expected on this roster, but for the most part, that is what we expected to be a Western roster overall that is going to be coming out of Toronto Defiant, which is exciting because I think that'll be a very cool team. I don't know why I had this tab open. Hey, it's Lunar New Year! Yeah! We have a Lunar New Year event that's been coming through. People have said it's underwhelming. They do it every year. It's got cool skins. There's some drops. Go check out some streams if you want want some things. Show Kaluja sausage. I did see that. Well, I don't want to show not safe for work content on this CNN weekly recap. So that is it. That's where we stand as of right now. It is the 23rd of January, 2023. Teams still haven't really been solidified. Hopefully next time I talk to you guys, we will have a community update done and we'll have a better idea of what's going on in the APAC region as a whole. Lots to look forward to though. 2023 is looking to be a banger season. There's a lot of really cool teams to watch, like Boston. I'm excited to see how Atlanta's going to do. How's Toronto going to do in this landscape? Who's going to be the best in APAC? Because it's going to be mixed up. Only time will tell. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel. Love you very much, and I'll see you guys next time.